So two of my film critic heroes, Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel, used to have a program on their show called If We Picked the Winners. They didn't talk about their predictions about what they thought was going to win at the Oscars. They talked about what they would vote for if they were Academy members. So I'm getting to my final Oscar predictions, I promise. But first up, I wanted to make a fun video where I talk about what I would personally choose if I were an Oscar voter. I have not watched the shorts yet, so I'm not going to talk about those categories, but I am going to talk about the other 20. What would I personally vote for if I was an Academy member? First up is Best Animated Feature. I've seen all 5 of these movies. I liked or loved all of them, but I would go with the consensus pick here, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I do think that is the standout in this category. I mean, I like Turning Red. It was a terrific film. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is really solid too, but I do think the strongest film here is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That is the film I would pick. It's the most creatively original and daring piece of work, and the stop motion animation is just spectacular. I do think that's the winner here. I would vote for that film. International feature film is an easy pick for me. All Quiet on the Western Front is my third favorite film of 2022. That movie floored me, even though I watched it at home on Netflix. I didn't see it in a theater with a crowded group of people. Like, it really was something special. I loved the look of the film, the performances. It's really striking. I do need to see Close and The Quiet Girl. I'm hoping I get a chance to see Close in the next couple days. And The Quiet Girl sounds really great too, but I don't know if either one could surpass my feelings for All Quiet on the Western Front. It is a masterpiece. It is fantastic. Best Visual Effects is another easy one. I would vote for Avatar: The Way of Water. I mean, say what you want about that film, about its story. Some people liked it more than others. I thought it was really terrific, and I think visually it is a stunner. I think the effects serve the story well. There are a couple sequences in the movie that were so visually incredible that I got teary-eyed, and I do think that this deserves to win. I mean, there's not really a clear second place here in visual effects. Like, I liked the look of the Batman and Top Gun Maverick, but I don't really think of those movies as like visual effects heavy. I do think Avatar: The Way of Water is the clear winner here, and it would get my vote. Best sound, I would pick Top Gun Maverick. Like, when I think of sound in filmmaking in the last year, well, first I think of Nope. I think Nope deserves to be in this category. I loved the sound there. But if I had to pick a winner in this category, it would be Top Gun Maverick. I watched a couple clips of the movie recently and was reminded again just how phenomenal the sound design is on that movie for the flying sequences. So that would definitely be my vote. Best sound, Top Gun Maverick. Best makeup and hairstyling, I would pick the Batman, mostly for the Colin Farrell look. I think one of the most striking makeup jobs, prosthetic jobs in a movie in 2022 was Colin Farrell in the Batman as Penguin. That was really great, and I know the movie came out way back in March and it's been a while, but as much as I admired the work done in The Whale and some of the makeup and hairstyling in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, my vote would be for the Batman. I think there's a lot of great stuff going on. I mean, I do think there's something to be said about how you can't even recognize Colin Farrell in the Batman. I mean, he just completely transforms into Penguin, and it is spectacular work from a makeup, prosthetic standpoint. So that would get my vote. Best costume design, every single film in this category is worthy. I would give my vote to Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I think Ruth Carter is a genius. I was so happy that she won a few years back for the first Black Panther, and I think she has outdone herself in the sequel. I mean, every character is so richly imagined through their costumes, with what they wear. I love everything that Angela Bassett wears in this movie. I mean, I would say Babylon and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris would be like a close second and third, but ultimately my vote here would be Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Best song. Okay, I might be going a little bit against the grain. I feel like most people are voting for Natu Natu. That's what might probably win on Oscar night. But I actually, I really like Lift Me Up from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever by Rihanna. Like, I downloaded that song in November and I listen to it all the time. I think it's lovely. I think it's wonderful. I like how it ends the film. I've been listening to it off and on for the last 3 months, and that would actually get my vote. I like some of these other songs, Not To from RRR and Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick, but my personal preference is Lift Me Up. I think it's a really terrific song. That would be my choice. Best documentary feature, I have seen 3 of the 5. I'm trying to see All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. I know that's been a really big documentary hit on the critic scene since it premiered at Venice last August, so I've been waiting to see it. I haven't gotten a chance to yet. As of now, my choice in this category would be Fire of Love, which I thought was very moving and interesting and well put together, well edited. I really enjoyed the love story of the film, the sense of loss, but also the way the movie's still uplifting at the end. It's just a really memorable story, and that would get my vote. Fire of Love. Best production design. I want to give Babylon something, and I think if there's one category it deserves to win, that it would get my vote for, it is production design. I love the look of this movie, all of the art direction, the sets, the costumes, the cinematography. I mean, I think this movie was worthy of another 3 or 4 Oscar nominations. I love the period setting of this movie and all the different forms of production design we get to see. This is an easy choice for me. For production design, I would vote Babylon. Best film editing comes down to Everything Everywhere All at Once and Top Gun Maverick for me. Again, I just watched a couple clips from Top Gun Maverick in the last week, and it is pretty spectacular to see how those flying scenes were cut together. I mean, I don't even know where you begin, like how you sort through all of that footage and piece it together the way they did. It's pretty amazing, so that's really close. But when it comes to how all the storylines of Everything Everywhere All at Once are weaved together through its editing, I think that's just a real masterclass in how to cut together a movie and have it be successful. I think if you don't edit Everything Everywhere All at Once just right, the movie falls apart. So my vote for best film editing would be Everything Everywhere All at Once. So when it comes to voting for best score, I just think about, well, which one stood out? Like, which one really was a character in the movie? And so the one I would vote for is Babylon. I think that score is the most memorable of these 5. Like, as much as I love The Fabelmans, I can't even remember what John Williams' score sounded like. Like, I have no memory of a score while watching that movie. But Babylon, boy, it's in your face a lot, and it is lovely. It's another great Justin Hurwitz score. He won for La La Land a few years ago, and I think he's going to win for this score too. It's really great. The All Quiet on the Western Front score is terrific too. That would be my second place here, but my vote for best score would be Babylon. Best cinematography. Okay, I might be a little biased here because I did just interview this guy for my YouTube channel. I talked to Florian Hofmeister just a few days ago about his amazing work on Tar, but as much as I love the cinematography in All Quiet on the Western Front, I do think that has a really good chance in winning on March 12th. My vote would go for the cinematography of Tar. I think it is exquisite, lovely, quiet, haunting. Every choice made in the cinematography of that story, I think, is perfect. It's not in your face ever. Of course, there's that spectacular 10-minute shot in the Juilliard scene that everybody loves. But just any 5-minute sequence of that movie, you just look at the cinematography, the visual design. I just think it is excellent. I think Florian Hofmeister has such a great eye. And I think pairing him with Todd Field for this story was perfection. So I would vote for Tar in Best Cinematography. Best Adapted Screenplay. So a close second here would be All Quiet on the Western Front. Since I do love that movie so much, it's more than just the visuals. It tells a great story. It's a very difficult to adapt novel, and they did it really well. So I'm happy with that, but I would choose Sarah Polley for Women Talking here. I think that's the best screenplay of the 5, and she realizes that screenplay so beautifully in that movie. I'm so happy it got into Best Picture, and Polley would get my vote in this category for a terrific script. Best Original Screenplay. Even though Tar is my favorite film of 2022, I would not give it the original screenplay win here. I would give that to Everything Everywhere All at Once, because I do think it is the most original screenplay in the category. It's probably the most original script of any movie I saw last year. I'm not going to vote for Everything Everywhere All at Once in picture or director, although it's definitely close, but I would give the screenplay to the movie my vote for sure. Best Supporting Actor, I think all of these contenders are worthy, and I would be happy with any of them winning. My vote would go to Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that's the best performance. I think he has the best narrative. I really love his story, his not having been in a movie in a long, long time, and for the Daniels to kind of rediscover him for this project. He was perfect casting for that role in that movie. He would be my choice for Best Supporting Actor. Best Supporting Actress, I love Angela Bassett. I loved her in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And I would like to give the Banshees of Inisherin something. I haven't voted that movie for anything, and that is on my top 10 of the year. I loved that movie, but I am going somewhere else here. My vote in Best Supporting Actress would be Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I was so relieved and thrilled that she got into the final 5 on Oscar nominations morning. I really enjoy Jamie Lee Curtis's performance, but that's mostly a career nomination. I think the best performance in this category by far is Stephanie Hsu. She is dazzling in that movie. She is so warm and real and raw and terrific. I think she is the worthy winner here. I've been hopeful that she could win somewhere. I would love to see her win a televised award. I don't think it's going to happen, but she would get my vote for Best Supporting Actress. Best Actor. Okay, I'm running out of categories, but I finally found one to give my vote to the Banshees of Inisherin. I loved Austin Butler in Elvis. I think Brendan Fraser is terrific in The Whale, and Bill Nye in Living, Paul Mescal in Aftersun, all terrific. My vote for Best Actor would, though, be Colin Farrell for the Banshees of Inisherin. It's not a big, dramatic performance, but what he does with that character, I think, is so great. It's so lived in, so real. I loved every moment of his performance in that movie, and I've been kind of sad that he's not really winning a whole lot right now. I do think he was deserving to win at BAFTA, and I don't think he's going to win at the Oscars. It's a shame. I do think that's the best performance in the bunch. My vote for Best Actor would be Colin Farrell for the Banshees of Inisherin. Best Actress is a tough call. Do I go with Cate Blanchett or Michelle Yeoh? Tar is my favorite film of 2022, and Blanchett is the whole movie. She is extraordinary. I could easily give my vote to her, but my vote is going to Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. What an amazing performance she gives. Just such depth and nuance and humor and joy and emotion. I mean, I think that would be one of the great Best Actress wins we've had in the last 20 years. And it would be a monumental moment in Academy Awards history. As much as I love Cate Blanchett and would be very happy to see her win a 3rd Oscar, I think Michelle Yeoh winning would be a moment to remember, and she is so well deserving for her spectacular performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once. My vote for Best Actress goes to Michelle Yeoh. Best Director, I'm going with someone who is being nominated everywhere, but he's not really winning anything, and that's Todd Field for Tar. I love the work of Todd Field. In the Bedroom and Little Children, 2 of my favorite films from the early part of the 21st century. We waited 16 years for his 3rd feature, and he did not disappoint. I knew about halfway through the movie that this was going to be my favorite film of 2022, and then the film just got better and better as it went on. I just think this is a monumental piece of filmmaking. It is something that I will revisit time and time again. I watched it for the 2nd time just recently to interview Florian Hofmeister, the cinematographer, and I fell in love with the movie all over again. All of the specific touches throughout the movie, and of course the terrific Cate Blanchett performance. I think it all comes down from the director. Todd Field is such a visionary. I want to see another 20 movies from this guy. I don't know what's to come from him, but he deserves to win Best Director for this movie. I think he is an astonishing talent. So my vote for Best Director would go to Todd Field for Tar. And finally, Best Picture. There's probably not a lot of suspense here. My vote would go to Tar It is just a gorgeous piece of filmmaking. I love the story. I love the twists and turns, the way it surprises you, the way it seems to be going in one direction and then it pulls you in another. It's just always, always fascinating. I love all of the little touches, the surreal touches, the ghost story aspect. The movie is just so rich. I could see it another 10, 20 times and not get sick of it. It reminds me in some ways of the work of Stanley Kubrick. I think the film is going to last for a very long time and will be studied and admired for decades. Tar, my favorite film of 2022, and my vote this year at the Oscars for Best Picture. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below if you were an Academy member, what films would you be voting for? I'll see you next time.